Hey everybody, thanks for coming out. We're really excited to show you what these little machines do. So DATENITE, she's going to show you how to make some really cool lo-fi beats on Circuit Rhythm, our newest groove box. There is a chance to win one of these. So if you see the QR codes over on the petting zoo or around the office, please scan it. You could either win a Circuit Rhythm or an FLkey, which is our MIDI controller for FL Studio. Yeah, so if you get a chance, check out what we have over there. We have Circuit Rhythm, we have Circuit Tracks, we have an FLkey 37, there's pizza, free swag over there. Thank you very much to BPM Music and Mike and Beats Freaks and Geeks. I say and all the time, sorry. It just rolls off my tongue all the time, but thank you very much. We really appreciate you guys being here.
Yes, Beats Freaks Geeks, DJ NoFX in the back there, so we'll be having him come up a little bit later to talk about the showcase portion of it. But without further ado, everything that you guys wanted to learn about the Circuit Rhythm, I'd like to introduce to you DATENITE.
Hey, I'm DATENITE. Thank you guys for coming out. Again, thanks to everyone. Thank you, BPM, Beats Freaks Geeks, and of course, Novation. So like Christian said, I'm going to be using the Circuit Rhythm to show you how I'd create a lo-fi beat. I'm going to be using some live flute to sample in, and I'm also using my phone to get some cool jazz guitar samples. But first I just wanted to talk about the rhythm a little bit. I'm not sure if anyone here knows the Circuit Tracks or even the original Circuit, but they are all portable groove boxes. The rhythm has 8 tracks on it, as you can see here, and is completely sample based. So there's no synth engine in it, unlike the tracks. But because of that, you have a lot of room to make it completely designed to your tailoring. You can sample in tracks through the back. You got a left-right input here. You can also upload your own samples online or through the Components app. And it also comes with a bunch of samples preloaded, which is super dope too. But let's get into it. Like I said, I have something on my phone ready to go because I wanted to do some jazz guitar. So I'm gonna go over to sample record. All right, and then I think you guys can see this here. This is showing all of the samples in the tracks. So right now I'm on track 1, and anything that is kind of muted out like that, that means there's samples already on the tracks. If there's anything that is red, that means you can sample into that specific slot. So the cool thing with the rhythm is that you can on the spot delete whatever sample's on there. So right there, we got a hit. So I could just hit clear and then hit that sample slot right there and it would completely delete it. So of course you want to be careful with that because it's deleted forever. So again, it's great to use any of the Circuit groove boxes with the Novation Components app because you can create a bunch of back-end saved files of all of your presets, just in case you actually delete something that you didn't mean to, because that does happen. So let's just kind of go through and see what sounds are here. Cool. So I got a bunch of drums, and then a lot of these are some of my own samples that I either got from online or sample packs. Some of these drums are from the Cymatic Lo-Fi Toolkit. If anyone knows that toolkit, it's really great. I highly recommend it for lo-fi. And then these 2 are filled. I was using them earlier, but I'm gonna delete them because I know right now that is the sample slot that I want to use. So let's go ahead and delete this one. Cool. So I'm gonna play this track for you. It's actually the jazz standard Misty, if anyone knows it. It's a great song. And this is Johnny Smith on guitar. So I'm gonna take something from this. We're gonna listen a little and see what do I wanna sample in. Now, when I'm ready to sample, All I'm gonna do is hit the record button, and I have a specific setting right now on the threshold so that it will sample right when it hears a sound playing. So that's something you can change. If I unselect threshold, it will start recording right when I hit record. So that's just something to keep in mind, just in case you are gonna be like scrubbing through a sample, or if there's already a certain part in a song that you know, or in this case, if you have to go to your cell phone and hit play, you probably want the threshold on, just so it's not recording blank space. So I'm gonna make sure threshold is on, and real quick, I'm just gonna go through these little settings at the bottom here. Right here you have -12 and 0, so that's your attenuation, just in case you have a really hot sample coming in. You can easily, right on the spot, make sure your volume isn't too crazy. I'm gonna leave it at 0 dB, because this will be fine for now. And then the third green button right here is, if you can see, RSP, so that's resample mode. So this is really cool. I'm gonna show you this later once I actually have like more of a track written. You can actually resample whatever you decide to have playing on the circuit rhythm, and then go back, chop it up. You could tune it down, stretch it out. So any beat makers in here, resample mode is key. But I'm gonna keep it off for now because I'm not gonna resample just yet. And then at the very end is just your monitor in. So that's so you can actually hear the sample that's coming into the rhythm. Sometimes you might want that off if you're doing like a live performance. Maybe you don't want to hear the part that you already have preset and you're playing it, right? So you don't want to like hear it come in yet. So you could just take off the monitor. So when I do that, you're not going to hear anything that's playing on my phone right now that's plugged in. So I'm going to put it back on. So now you can hear it. So this is Misty. Just gonna go through. For lo-fi, it's great to use like old jazz standards. You get piano in there, which is like, I think, essential for anything lo-fi. I love guitar and jazz guitar, so I really wanted to use this track. All right, so I already know that I want the beginning part because I want this little lick right here. It's really cool. So I'm gonna scrub back to the start. I'm gonna hit play here, and then now I'm recording in. So if you can see the yellow bricks, that might be able to help you see better. So this is the sample length. I'm gonna stop it right there because I only want that much of the sample. So let's hear back what I just recorded. Sounds pretty. Okay, so then the rhythm just takes a second to save everything that just recorded. While it's doing that, I'm just gonna talk about this other half of the bottom that also goes along with the second part of when you're sampling in. So for this one, you actually can see right here everything that it's telling you it will do. So if I have this selected right now, this sample, or whatever sample I have selected, is going to act as a one-shot, meaning I can just hit it, it's gonna play out the whole sample for me. Okay, and then I'm gonna choose gated, so now if I hold the sample down, it'll only play as long as I'm holding the pad down. Okay, super helpful there. Loop would be going through the whole entire sample on its own. Again, I would just hit it, it'll go through the sample, and then it'll loop back around. Since this is a longer sample, I'm not gonna show you that right now, but that would be good for maybe a shorter sample so that later you don't have to put it in the grid. It'll just constantly be looping. And then the last thing is reverse. It sounds really pretty with guitar. Cool. So I'm gonna keep this one as a one shot for now because I know this particular sample, I want to use it in such a way that I'm gonna cut off a beat later on, and I'm gonna show you what I'm doing, and it's gonna play the rest of the sample out for me. Cool. So now that I have that, I'm gonna go over to our tracks here. So I'm on track 1. Like I said, you have 8 tracks. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As you can see, everything is color-coded, which is very helpful. when you're working in grid effects and effects mode. So my first track, I want to be the melody. So I'm gonna choose personally to put the guitar on this first track. So now I gotta go back to my sample and just see, where did I save it? Okay, this is track 1, and it's gonna be at the bottom left of the sample pool. So, okay. So let's go into sample mode. Okay, so there's that sample. Those are all the drums from before. Cool. So there's the sample I want to work with. So now, I don't want it to play out like that. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I could just hit this sample. I'm going to put it in the grid, right? It's just going to constantly keep playing. So I don't want that. I actually want to slice this sample up. So I'm going to go hit sample mode right here. And you have 2 options. You got keyboard, which would be you have your sample and you could play it chromatically like a keyboard. So that's very helpful for one-shots. You could sample in like a one-shot piano or something and make your own melodies and chords, and I'll show you that later. But slice mode is super dope. So I'm gonna use that for this sample, especially because it's a longer melodic sample I wanna slice up. So right here you get 3 options to slice it, and they're just subdivisions. So this last one is 16, so it will fill in all 16 parts of the grid that you get to work with. That will make it 8, and then that will be 4. So when you're in this mode, it's literally automatically slicing it for you, which is really cool. I'm gonna keep it at 16. I feel like I use 16 a lot just because I like to have all access of the sample and really get into the nuance of all the sounds that I just recorded, because there's kind of a lot going on there. So I'm gonna go back, hit sample. So now I'm back on track 1, and I'm gonna hit note. So this time you can hear the whole sample going on. No more of those drum sounds. Cool, so once I'm in this mode, this is where I can actually start creating the song or whatever sounds I want to use for this particular track 1. To get me going, just to kind of hear a beat, I'm going over to track 3. I just have a little hi-hat hit, just to kind of give myself a metronome to work with. There is actually a click on the rhythm. I'll show you that real quick. So that is an option too, but I like to just use the drums that are on there sometimes to create my own sort of click. All right, so I'm back on track 1 again. I have that selected. And now we're back at our sample. So let's try to make something with this. So that's pretty, so I like that. So I'm going to go back into what's called pattern view. So now that I kind of have an idea of what I want to record on track 1, I have to actually select the slots that I want to record it on. So the default is everything will just be selected on your first set of tracks. So again, everything is kind of grid view linear. So this is your track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So on track 1, I have 4 tracks here that I can choose to record as much that I want on there, and then I can also hit down. I can record more on these tracks, and there is an option to actually expand that and record even more, but just to keep it simple, I'm gonna select 4. So I'm gonna give myself basically a 4-bar loop, right? So these are each bars. So I got my click going. I'm just gonna kind of make a rough sketch of what I want the guitar to do. Okay, cool. So that's now on my track 1. And I like that. Everything is there that I wanted, that I recorded. Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna make some drums to go along with that. So I went back to track 3 and I just got rid of that little click. So I'm gonna go to track 2 and I'm back in sample mode. So here's my sample bay. So it's going to be all the sounds and samples that I have that I recorded, that I have on there. You can go through again and scroll through this menu, and you can go through different banks of samples, basically. So I was on bank 1, which will be the same bank for any track you're on, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna see what's in the next bank. I'm just gonna go through. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's basically how you go through to see all your sounds. And you can see it's getting highlighted there. So you have 8 banks of 16 samples to go through. So I actually made sure that I organized my session in such a way that pretty much everything I wanted to use for this beat is always going to be on the first bank. The way I did that was super easy. Again, it was through components. If you just go online, plug in your circuit through USB, you can go on the components app and literally like drag and drop and rearrange your samples, and it's like the most incredible thing. It's so easy. You don't have to like export with the SD card or do anything crazy. Yeah, so I kind of have it organized that everything is just right here, so I don't have to be scrolling through all the different banks. And that's something I found is very helpful. When you actually get the circuit rhythm, it's cool. They also have it pre-organized for you. And it's actually by genre. So like the first bank is like lo-fi tools. The second bank I think is like a trap kit. So you could purposely, again, like organize your session in such a way that all your samples are on specific banks. So you're not like scrolling through trying to find like, what was that one sound that I really wanted? You could also have a bank that's just completely empty. So that could be your like sample in session. If you're doing like live sampling or you want to like record in from your phone or a record or something, you could just have a whole bank of empty space and then everything is coherent and right there for you. So let's go back and I'm gonna play this. I'm just gonna start a beat here. Beats in there that I don't want. So in your grid view here of everything I just recorded, it's really easy to go back and fix any little mess ups, any mistakes, any sounds that you don't want. So I can just click on a sound and now it's gone. Just the same as I clicked on that sound, I can easily add back a sound that I wanted. So I'm gonna get rid of all of this by clicking all of it. All the sounds are gone, right? So it's just empty. So I know this is the kick I like. So I can also just hold whatever sound and sample that I want and then select whatever part of the grid I want it to be on. Okay, so there's my snare. So you don't always have to like actually be drumming or fingering anything on here if you don't want to. You can literally just like place any sound anywhere on the grid just by hitting. So if you're not like a big finger drummer, you can just type in your own sounds. Okay, so that's okay for now. Okay, so we got like a little basic lo-fi beat going. That's fine. So I'm in mixer mode right now. I want to only hear these drums because I want to do some EQing to them. So I'm going to select track 1 where my guitar was going. I'm just going to deselect it so now it'll be silent. I'm going to deselect all the other tracks except for track 2 so I can only hear track 2. So there's my drums. And now I'm going to go through all of these really cool top functions up here. So first you have tune, which is going to be exactly what it sounds like. You can detune, tune up or down. Again, this works for any sample. It's not just drums, whatever. Every single track has the same functionality. So for this one, I think I do actually want to tune down the drums a little because I want them a little like grittier. Okay, next you have start, and that's going to be the start time of your sample. So for drums, it's a little interesting because these are one shots, so they're already pretty short. Something to keep in mind. When I first got this, of course, it was inevitable. There'd be a time where I was like, there's no sound coming out. And then I was like, oh, the start was all the way at the end, and it's like a 2-second sample. So, of course, you're not going to hear anything. So if you're ever confused, always check your start and length. Cool. So I'm just going to leave it to start at the beginning. And now I'm going to mess with the length. I'm sure you can hear it's getting shorter and shorter, shorter. So again, that's something really cool. It's going to sound really cool on melodic type samples, even drums. It's dope. Slope is going to be kind of like an attack. It's more of how the volume is attenuating as the sample is being hit. Okay. And then next you have distortion. So that's really cool. Lastly, you just have a high pass and a low pass filter, which for lo-fi genre, this is extremely helpful. Technical difficulties. Oh, is this mic?
It is
Engineering 101. No, it's not. This is my mic.
Performance mic.
Yes. No, you're fine. I was like, I'm not on. Okay, I'm glad we went through that. If it's feedback, it's always a mic. Anyways, where were we? All right, we got high pass and low pass filter. Are you guys feeling good? Am I going too fast? It's good? Okay. I'm from Philly. I'm from the East Coast, and I was purposely this morning like, I need to make sure I talk slowly and clearly because my brain and my heart are always just like, go, go, go. And California is so slow and nice and peaceful, and I have to catch up with all you guys because I've been here 5 years, and I'm still just like, why is everyone walking so slow? Like, it's okay. So, let's take a beat. Now, let's go back to high pass, low pass. They're going to do exactly what they say. So, now I'm not getting sound. Excuse me, Mike. Now I'm not getting sound. I think maybe they turned me down here because they were worried about feedback. They didn't fix it. Whatever this is going into. So soft.
Filter or something on?
No.
Something's there.
Low pass one? Is it low pass one?
That's what I was asking. Like, is
No.
there a filter?
No.
There's nothing here. So these two channels are open.
It's literally just this.
Yeah. I mean, it was working.
I know, why would it?
Nothing changed here. All you did was lower the
Turn
mic
down
volume.
1 and 2. Yeah, 2.
1 and 2 are down. So she's on 3 and 4. So nothing here has changed. And obviously when we do this, you can hear on muffled.
It was your fault.
What was it?
It was Noah's fault. We got it. Nobody's fault. All right. He's trying to trip me up. Okay, so you got your low pass. high pass, resonance. Not too applicable for drums. But we're making a lo-fi beat here, so I'm gonna cut this low pass just a little. And let's hear how that sounds with guitar. So I'm also a mixer view right now, like I mentioned before, and these also control your volume. So I could get rid of the drums that way, I could mute them that way, but you really have a lot of capability to mix. So I'm gonna turn down guitar just a little. Let's bring that high pass. All right. Okay, cool. So now I pretty much have drums and a melody going that I like. So the next part, I'm just gonna fill in some little textural drumming background sounds. And then I'm gonna get into another melodic element, which is gonna be live sampling in with flute in this case. Obviously you could use any instrument. You could use the sample in, you could use guitar. It doesn't really matter. Again, it's 2 1/4-inch inputs in the back, and that will help you directly sample in. So I didn't mention it, but how I was using my phone basically was an aux to 1/4-inch input. I just had it in left mono, and then I have a lightning adapter. I literally just went on Spotify, found the jazz song, sampled it in. It's really easy. So yeah, that's a really cool feature to know. Like whoopee sound here that I uploaded from one of my own packs. Now I like the drums, but I want to add some variation to them. So I'm going to go back into pattern view so I can see all my patterns going on. And then I'm going to actually do what I did with the guitar. I'm gonna highlight multiple patterns so that I can either, one, write new drum parts, or you can actually just duplicate the pattern parts that are already there. So I'm gonna show you how to do that first. I'm just gonna hit duplicate. This is the first drum that I recorded. Now it's there. If I select both of them, they're going to play sequentially. So I'm gonna mute guitar just so we can hear it. So see, now you're on the second pattern beneath it. If you wanted, you could go in, maybe alter something. Great. So now it's going to start on the first pattern. Now it's going to play the second pattern. At any time, if I just wanted to play one pattern, I can just select whichever one. It stops playing the second one. So I'm going to keep them both going. Now, I wanted to add a vocal element to this, and this one's kind of funny. I had my phone going through, I was just going through, Spotify songs, and then inevitably I ended up on Instagram somehow. And this reel came up with this woman talking about crocheting, and I had it ready to record, and I guess I inadvertently selected the monitor in, which I showed you earlier, where you can hear what you're recording in. So I had that off, so I couldn't hear what I was recording. I was like, what did I just record? So
crochet hook.
So she's saying crochet hook in a Scottish accent, and I was like, what is this? I didn't mean to record this, but it sounds kind of sick. So I already made a little, just purposely placed it on the grid here, and I was like, I just want to keep that because I don't know how I could even replicate that live. So sometimes, happy accidents happen like that. So that one, I have it going throughout the whole 4-block grid just to match the guitar. I like this sample too because it's cool at the beginning. It just kind of sounds like a little breathy or something. It's just like a little noise in the background. So I'm gonna let it run through. First track, second track, third track, and then you get it on the
Crochet.
I like this. I was like, I'm keeping that, whatever. Cool. All right. And then now I just want to build up the rest of it. So I'm going to work a little backwards here. I'm going to go to track 7, unmute that. And then let's go into sample. Let's check our start and length. So I'm going to go back to that first pack again. Set of samples. Okay. I'm looking for like a synthy kind of sound I recorded. That could work. So cool. So this is a good example of using like a one-shot that's kind of melodic, kind of sounds like just a synth drone. So what I can do here, instead of just doing this on the grid, right, because it's just going to sound like a monotonous tone. Right, that's it. So I can use that one shot and actually build upon it to create a melody through the keyboard. So I'm going to hit note. And now you can see I actually have a full keyboard setup. Like these would be all the white keys and then the black keys up here. It's just a chromatic setup. And that was just from that one-shot sample. That could be anything. Like I said, a piano, a synth, a voice, anything. And the reason I'm able to do it in keyboard is, again, I had it in sample mode and I selected keyboard mode versus slice mode. So you can't do 2 at the same time on one sample. So that's just something to think about. But you can always switch it in between. Like while you're playing, I could just switch this to slice mode and then try to slice it up. But I'm going to keep it like a keyboard. You got octaves. Effects to that particular sound. So this is a great segue to go into the effects menu. So with the effects, you get delay and reverb that are right here for you. So this is your delay grid, and it basically goes through like every subdivision and in between with different types of delays. So I'm just going to play some for you on track 7. So when you're in effects mode, you're going to use these as your wet dry knobs for the corresponding track that you want to add an effect on. So I wanted track 7, so I'm going to go to 7, make sure whatever delay I want is selected. So I'm just going to pick a random one. Let's see that. Now I'm making it 100%, so you should hear the delay on that. If I wanted, I could go in and switch. Really fun feature that I use a lot. You can just use it like that for sound effects, honestly, and just like switch in between your delays. Or again, yeah, just be intentional and you can do 100%, 50, whatever you like. So now down here, it's the same thing, except they're different types of reverbs. So I'm gonna put down the delay, select reverb. So I like that, honestly, with the delay and the reverb, so I'm going to leave that one for now. I'm gonna unmute my vocal track, so that one's back in there. Cool. And then the last thing I wanted to show y'all was how to sample in like an instrument. In this case, I'm using my flute. So my setup is a little particular since it is a non-electronic instrument. I'm running it through the mic, and then I actually have a little saturator pedal here just to help boost the signal a little. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in from the guitar pedal here right into the back. So I'm gonna do left mono. Cool. So now I should be getting it from this mic. I'm gonna go back to sample record. And like I mentioned in the beginning, any of these red spots are slots that are game. They're open for samples. If I hit them, nothing's on there. So since I am gonna use a mic and it's flute, it's kind of soft on its own, I'm going to just like mute the drums, all the other extra sounds, because I don't really need them. Honestly, I just want to hear the melody to make sure I'm in key. And I'm just gonna play around and see what I come up with and then slice it up. So again, using my mixer, I can just bring down the guitar just a little. Okay, cool. And then real quick, I'm gonna switch out mics. Cool. All right, so go back to sample record. I have this one selected, again, because it's an open slot. And I'm just going to play around a little before I hit record. So honestly, I want to keep the flute just kind of loose, and like I said, my intention, thank you. Thank you. Not many people know, but I actually studied classical flute in college and was fully converted to electronic music afterwards, and yeah, it's great. I'm trying to incorporate flute more into my playing, so here you go. A rare glimpse of me playing flute. All right, so I'm gonna hit record and then just noodle around, honestly, because again, I want to just slice it up and see what I come up with. All right, so now it should be here. You can see it saving. So again, yeah, I was using flute, and I actually have a converter for XLR to 1/4 inch. That's what allowed me to go into the pedal there, but honestly, it'd be way easier if you just record anything 1/4 inch, a guitar, a synth, a phone, and yeah, that's how easily you can sample on this. It's pretty crazy. So my sample is there. Like at the beginning I was talking about, I can have the choice to do one shot, gated, loop, etc. I think for this one, I honestly want it gated because it was kind of long. So I didn't mention at the beginning, but you can also do your start and length editing in sample mode, and that will actually help you to clear up some space if you're worried about having enough space for like more samples. If I was gonna continue to like keep sampling in instruments, I'd probably edit it and clip it here versus when I'm in pattern mode. So I know at the start it was just kind of noise, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And I know it's loud. I just had the gain in a little high, but that's okay. I can go back and whatever track I put it on, I can just, again, mix the track down a little, do some editing later, no big deal. Okay, so I like that little lick, but I also like the one that came later. So I'm gonna keep it in that start point. I'm just gonna cut off the end a little. I don't think I'm gonna use that, just to save some space and sanity. So cool, so that one's ready to go. So now I gotta see which track I have space to put this on. And I kept track 5 open for this purpose. Cool. So again, when you're like writing on this, it's just maybe if you want to, something to keep track of. I know people have like specific systems, like 1 and 2 are always gonna be rhythms or melodic instruments, whatever. In this case, I have it kind of mixed up, but it's really easy just to go through and see like, okay, I already have stuff written here. So track 5 doesn't have anything on it. So I'm gonna go into sample. So again, I can go through all the samples on that first bank. All right, there's a flute. Bring it down a little. All right, so this one I can either choose to keep it as is, and I could like punch it in here. I could do it in note mode, or I can do it in slice mode. So I have this track already set up. So you just saw me record in a new sample, and I already had it set up to slice mode. So I don't have to go back and like change into slice mode. So that's also something cool you can save on all your projects. Like on track 5, if you're always gonna slice, you can just make sure it's always set up on slice mode. So I think I'm just gonna mess around with that a little.
Crochet hook. Crochet hook.
Cool. So all my 8 tracks are filled up now. So that was a great long process. Thank you for bearing with me during all of that. But now I pretty much have everything I need to write a song. So as you can see with guitar, we already went through that. I kind of already made that. The next cool part about rhythm is, I've been waiting to talk about this the whole time, grid effects. Grid effects are so cool. So together you're gonna hit mixer, you're gonna hit it twice. And now you get your grid effects. What this does is it affects all of the tracks in various ways, and you actually have the ability to customize the way that it affects the tracks, if that makes sense. So I have mine set up where all of these red ones are beat repeat, these 2 yellow ones are reverse, the blue ones are all like a little bit crushy kind of way of doing it. You can get phaser in there. And then perfect for lo-fi, you can have vinyl and lo-fi cutoff simulators. So I'm just gonna kind of show you how to use grid effects. So I'm gonna have my track playing. Maybe I don't want everything playing at once, cool. So you also can do muting in here, like the mixer view. But now I wanna add a grid effect. Let's try the beat repeat. Okay. So those are different subdivisions that I actually went in and again customized. When you get the circuit, all the subdivisions are set up there for you. Like it's very easy to use. It's not like grid effects is blank. But I just chose to have specific ones. You can go from quarter, eighth, 16th, and then you can do triplet variations in between. So that was all the beat repeats. now you got your verse. You can also customize the parameter of the subdivision that you're reversing. Now we got it gated. Kind of sidechained. You got a pump going on, a choke. I got a phaser going on. And all of these have little macro knobs, again, that will light up, that you can just mess around with. You can hear the different subdivision. So they're all very customizable, again, and on the fly. You can do a lot with them performance-wise. Vinyl, sounds great and crackly. That one's even more of a hiss in there. So that was a conscious decision to have one, and then one that's more hissy. Now, any of the grid effects, you can choose to have them latched on. So let's do that with the vinyl. You just hit that white button up there. And you could layer multiple ones. It's kind of crazy. So I got a beat repeat and the vinyl simulator going at the same time, which is pretty cool. All right, so those are latched. If I want to unlatch, now it's just back to regular. All right, and then I guess the last thing I will show you that is helpful is side chaining. So we were in our effects menu, so now we're gonna go to side chain. And then just as I was mentioning in the beginning, everything's color coded. So we're gonna go all the way back to the start. So you got orange, green. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are the tracks at the bottom. It's showing you what color track you're gonna be sidechaining. And then up the top, you're gonna look up, and that's the other track that you're actually sidechaining to. So this is the first track, the guitar melody. I want it sidechained to that kick, basically, but the drums. So I have it here, and this is the amount. So it's barely sidechained versus not. You can't really tell, so let's listen to that. I'm just gonna mute everything else, and then so I have it set to drums, which is track 2. Here I was going in and out, just pumping with the drum. So it's very subtle again at these bottom ones. If you get the end part, the signal's almost gone for that guitar with the drums. So I want to sidechain it just a little. I think I also want to sidechain one of these melodic parts. Number 5 is the flute, so sidechain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's track 5, drums. So now it's sidechain to the drums.
Crunchy.
Cool. That's how you make a lo-fi beat. So if you'll bear with me, I can just go through the track real quick, and mostly I just want to show you how you could build it up, and mostly using like grid effects, and I do a lot, honestly, just with the mixer building in the tracks. So we'll just kind of go through it. So I'm going to start with the guitar.
crochet.
There you go.
Make some noise for date night.
Yeah.
All right, all right. Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. So right about now, obviously we have even more stuff for you guys tonight. So one of our other partners, Beats Freaks Geeks, Mr. Noah in the back there, DJ NoFX, I'm gonna have him come up and so he can introduce the next artist that is gonna come and do a showcase for us. And Noah can talk about Beats Freaks Geeks and all things lo-fi.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, BPM Create Novation. Man, how's everybody feeling tonight? Y'all feeling good? Yo, one more time, front, back, side to side. Give it up for my girl, DATENITE. She's no stranger to Beats Freaks Geeks. Man, we love her. That's my baby sister. All right, again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, man, and making this night possible. Thank you again to Mike, the whole team at BPM Create, the lovely people at Novation, Christian and the crew, man, we love y'all. How many of y'all are familiar with Beats Freaks Geeks? I see a couple of familiar faces in the building. All right, so y'all know what the vibe is. So Beats Freaks Geeks is a producer showcase. How many producers we got here tonight? Hands up. Every hand should be up, right? For the most part, right? So how many producers have played like local beat showcases or, just navigate the beat scene? Okay, we got a few. All right. So one of the things we wanted to create 5 years ago and we've been doing was creating a platform for music producers who may not be looking to shop beats to labels, who may not be looking for superstardom or whatnot, but deserve a platform to share your music on. You work hard for your music, you work hard on your art, and we wanted to create an environment, a safe place to give each and every one of you the opportunity to share your vibes with your creative peers. So that's what Beats Freaks Geeks is all about, and it's tied in with the beautiful theme of vintage sci-fi cinema. Who loves sci-fi movies? Hands up. Okay, I'm gonna go. All up in the camera, all up in the videos. So our whole thing is tied into retro sci-fi cinema. So when you come to our showcase, not only do you get the dopest emergent sounds from LA and beyond, but it's all tied together with retro sci-fi cinema from the 50s, the 60s, the 80s, just some trippy movies, man. So we get down every second Sunday at Simple Bar, not too far from here, right up on the Cahuenga Pass, Studio City. Come vibe with us. Our next showcase is Sunday, October 9th. We got an amazing lineup. But tonight, we're going to give y'all a little taste of what Beats Freaks Geeks, the LA beat scene, and what a beat showcase is all about. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up our first producer, front, back, side to side. He goes by the name of Yolanda, Blonda, coming all the way from the Bay. He's going to share some vibes with y'all tonight. My guy.
How y'all doing? It's good? Everyone's good? Yeah. Just want to big thanks to BPM Create, Novation, BPM Create, Novation, Beats Freaks and Geeks. Also, big shout out to DATENITE, Cobaine, Ivory. Please stick around. It's a great time. I'm really happy to play in front of you guys. Just give me 1 second. Give it up for Mike, everybody. For sure. Who could spit like 16 bars right now? I'm just kidding. Okay, so without further ado. Appreciate it, Sandra. Just want to move this out here. Just want to fix 1 second. Just want to fix this setup. All right. Oh, just want to lift it up just a little bit. Thank you. Perfect. Check. All right. All right.
away in the back off the street. So one thing left, my jacket you took. imagining what it felt and looked. Do you slept with another cloak? I never thought I'd be that awoke from a dream you so damn broke. The pockets swell right under my eyes, start to bleed and dry. I wonder when's it over? You try to make things right, but I don't hide my feelings. You have no guilt at all. I'm sitting there right by the window, yeah. I'm feeling dead inside in the middle, yeah. I wanna clear up my eyes, wanna clear up my mind and my life. I'm sitting there right by the window, yeah. I'm feeling dead inside in the middle, yeah. I wanna clear up my eyes, wanna clear up my mind and my life. I'm sitting there right by the window, yeah. I'm feeling dead inside in the middle, yeah. I wanna clear up my eyes, wanna clear up my mind and my life. Has everything cost like I know that you can change your ways, as everyone knows. Like I know that you can turn the page, as anything wrong. Like I know that we go different ways, as everything goes. Like I know that we go different ways, as everything goes. Like I know that we go different ways. Like I know.
Check. Appreciate it.
Make some noise for Yolanda, Blonda.
Much love, thank you.
Hey, they don't make it like anymore like this, so what?
Trying to avoid reverb. Does it sound good out there? I'm just talking. Yeah, it sounds good. Thank you.
Bounce to you.
But give a big shout out to BPM Create and Novation, DATENITE, Cobaine, Ivory, Beats Freaks and Geeks. Thank you so much. My name is Yolanda. Blonda. Have a good night. Is the last one. Last one. much. I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.
Yes, yes. Give it up for Yolanda, Blonda. Yo, one more time, front, back, side to side. Give it up for Yolanda, Blonda. Man, that's what a beat showcase looks like, man. Just get up on the stage and share your vibes, man. We're about to take a quick intermission, and in this intermission, man, get familiar with the petting zoo. Who ate tonight? We got pizza back there, the petting zoo. Shout out to Novation. And again, our guy, Cobaine Ivory, is going to bless y'all with some amazing beats to close out tonight. And again, intermission, baby. We'll be back in about 5. One more time, front, back, side to side. Give it up for Yolanda, Blonda. Yo, give it up for BPM Create one time, y'all. Yes. Let me hear it front, back, side to side for Novation. That's right, man. Wake up, baby. Let's go. Again, the petting zoo is open. Brief intermission. We'll be back in a few minutes.
You guys, don't forget, we have the petting zoo there, so if you want to check out all the new products from Novation, they are right over there. You can play with them, and we have some product specialists from Novation on hand to answer all of your questions. We also have another one of our partners, Snacktive, out in the back, so they've got those really cool-looking chopstick things you can put on your fingers for gaming or when you're finger drumming on your MPC or on your Novation stuff, anything. This stuff will keep your fingers clean, so make sure you check out Snacktive at the rear over there. And again, just about 5 minutes, we'll get started.
No, it's really natural.
Don't forget, if you haven't had your photo taken, we have our photographer there in the back, so make sure you get your photo op here. Make sure you grab some food, some snacks. Check out one of our other partners, Snacktive, in the rear there as well. All right, remember, if you haven't taken your photos yet, the photographer is still there in the back. All right, just about 2 more minutes, and we want everybody to start making their way back to their seats for the next showcase. All right, 1 more minute, and we want everybody to return to their seats. Make sure you grab some water, soda, snacks. All right, if we can get everybody moving back to their seats, make sure you got some water in hand, some snacks in hand. We got one more beat showcase for you guys tonight. Again, we want to thank all of our partners that are here tonight. Novation, Beats, Freaks, Geeks, Snackdiv. If we can get everybody back to their seats, we're going to get started right about now.
Yes, 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 everybody. We got one more producer for y'all tonight. Yo, if you in the back, make your way forward one time. If you in the back, bring it forward, man. Bring it to the love zone. That's what we call it at Beats Freaks Geeks, the love zone. And everybody huddles in, shares some vibes. Yes, yes, yo, all my sexy people in the back, come forward one time. I won't bite, promise. We're gonna bring it in, Shout out to DATENITE, Novation, BPM Create, BPM Music. Shout out to my guy Scout, I see you, man. Alamode, my guy. All right, Cobaine, you ready? All right, yo, so everybody, thank y'all for coming in. We got one more producer who's about to do his thing for y'all. So again, we gonna give him nothing but love. Again, if you did notice, Yolanda Blonda was rocking on the Novation launch pad. My man Cobaine Ivory is about to do his thing on the FLkey. So we are rocking with Novation products tonight. So see how these guys get down and get familiar. But for the next 20 minutes, he's all yours from back side to side. Make some noise for Cobaine Ivory!
The protagonist says, find the courage to wander the wilderness with your ideas. The courtier said, I'm trying so hard. The protagonist said, I know.
Got 25 fellas, still can't find a better. We'll travel all the world, baby. Don't make me travel alone. Yeah, yeah. I can't live without you. Hold my head in chain. I can go a day. I'm in bad shape. You can have every dime to my name, yeah. What I'm trying to say to you, darling, is I'm trying to maintain what I've been trying to say. Girl, you know I love you. Girl, you know I love you. Like I'm locked up in prison. Yeah, doing 25 lives.
Valentino Summers and Wave Runners. Chains on my niggas like slave runners. Drug dealers anonymous. How many Madonnas can that Mazda fit? My brick talk is more than obvious, it's ominous. Garage is the phantom. Ghouls, ghosts, and goblins. Blonde mohawk, the collection. I'm Dennis Rodman. The money counter's the only moment of silence. Cause hush money balances all this drugs and violence. Hat trick under my mattress. Date I stop steal has an asterisk after it. After all, I can make a call. I can baptize a brick as I wash away my sins like a Catholic. Who the fucking master this? America's nightmares and Flint. Children of a lesser God when you got a tent. And I can't even mention what I said or what I spent. Cause my name in 18 wheelers is evidence. I put my booze in the booze collection. Life's a bitch, A to Z on her shoe collection. Take your pick, paid in full like 86 G's on my body. The new Gucci has less monogram. God's got him. Let he without sin cast the
I feel kind of wise, sitting next to you. Baby girl, I'd rather do my do-rag. What you tell me to do? Stay with me and love me through the night. Endlessly, I'ma keep on all my things, and I'll make love to you. Say let me squeeze you down through the night. Baby girl, I'd rather do my do-rag. You like to do it, watch me go zoom. Baby girl, I'd rather do right. Stay with me and love me through the night. Alright. I just wanna know how you feel. You're doing it right. I may be covered in chains.
cause I'm whipping this shit. Yeah, I'm gripping this shit. Gripping this shit. Feel like ODB cause I'm whipping this shit. Feel like ODB cause I'm whipping this shit. Feel like ODB cause I'm ripping this shit. Yeah, I'm ripping this shit. Yeah, I'm ripping this shit. Hey yo, you better fall back when it's sniffing on the desi. On me flip on shorty with the dirty 40. Money falling like confetti on me. Leave these rappers living very holy with the preachers.
Me, can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me? Hands in the soap, how the faucet's running and I keep looking at you. Stuck on your phone, stuck in your zone. You don't ever, but I don't wanna give up. Baby, I just want you to get up. Lately, I've been a little late. Wish you would just focus. If only I knew it was all gonna crash down around me, I would've stayed out from under the roof. Too good to be true. Spotless floors and painted faces, mesmerized, too late to undo. Cotton candy skies, roses on the front porch, a bomb with razor beam, like smoke from a dream in a movie scene. Strangers passing by.
優雅な悪音楽神コベイン・アイボリー。
shit ain't changed. You know you over shit when you tired of over-explaining it. But till that day, shit ain't changed. You gotta be honest with yourself, nigga. What you really want? You ain't out here fooling no one else, nigga. You know who you are. So many theories and suspicions. I'm diagnosed with real nigga conditions. Today is the day I follow my intuition. Keep the family close, get money for bitches. I don't talk me, I snake bread. My mama told me that I'ma work myself to death. My girl told me don't let these hoes get in my head. My world been static, I check the signals that red. Buzzing, radar is buzzing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Buzzing, radar is buzzing. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's way less vodka in my soda now. I still go hard, but I'm way sober now. Rapping with my bro like, bro, I'm feeling strange. The way I used to love the game don't feel the same. My whole life I identified with fame. Identified like it was an eye exam. Identified like a kill shot in range. Now I done put me on a higher plane. Elevating, leveling up, salivating, tasting the dream. It's medicine, it's vitamin, it's glutamine, me through my bloodstream. It's B12, it's seashells on seashores. I'm bike riding on my pipe game. It's Python, I'm recharged. I done took a detour. Letting this bullshit slide off me like swans to water. Yeah, I done took a detour for life. Finally embrace my power. Living every day like every now. That's all you can really do. Until I see you.
Give it up for Cobaine, Ivory. Yeah, one more time, front, back, side to side. Give it up for Cobaine, Ivory. Yeah, man, that's a little taste of Beats Freaks Geeks, man. And if you like this shirt, you might have noticed the posters up front. This limited edition print is available for free. It's all yours. Take one before you leave, man. Grab one of them posters, put it on your wall. And more importantly, every second Sunday, come vibe with us at Simple Bar, man. Follow us on IG. I want to shout out to Mike and the team at BPM Create. Make some noise for BPM Create. One more time, give it up for the good people of Novation. Make some noise for Novation. And we just gonna vibe out and network now, man. Mike, it's all yours, man. We appreciate the love, man.